are finally doing our live, which I tried to do it yesterday and I just got way too busy, which happens sometimes. But I always have to check and make sure my stuff is on here correctly. One sec, guys. My husband will join us in just a second as well. Right. I'm doing it horizontal and you guys let me know if you like it this way or if you want me to turn it vertical. But I just thought it'd be kind of cool to do it this way if you're watching from your TV. Hi everybody, hi. Hola. And you guys also let me know if the connection is good. Hopefully I'm doing it a little bit earlier, so I'm hoping we can keep a good connection. Looks good. Oh, thank you so much. This is way better. Wonderful. I'm using my new camera too, so I think that helps a lot. Hi from California. It also helps it being horizontal. I can see your guys' messages so much better. I thought it would be so fun to talk tonight about growing up Mexican because I was thinking about something my husband did the other day, and then it just made me think about the differences between me and him growing up. And the differences were huge. And now how those differences play into our family because our kids are growing up in a mixed type of home. Okay, hon, when you're ready, come sit down. He had to message somebody really quick. And I'm so sorry if I cough a little bit because I'm feeling a lot better. But whatever viral thing went through our ranch, I don't know one person who didn't get it, and all of us have had a cough for a while now. Hola, oh, thank you so much. You sound a lot better. Yes, I feel a lot better. And everybody got sick with it. Okay, so, hi everybody, oh my gosh. Hi Carmen. And you guys, I just finished up today's vlog and it's gonna be spring cleanup. And I don't know what it is, but there was something in the air and I was like, it is spring cleaning day. And once you get started, you know you can't stop until the house looks decent again. Oh, thank you so much, Candace. Hello from Michigan was so nice the past few days. Gonna snow on Thursday. Oh, wow. V, thank you. Hi from Toronto. Oh, wow, I bet it's cold in Toronto right now. All right, so one of the differences I was thinking about with my husband was that when I was growing up, if a lot of you guys know, and just so you guys know, I'm live from Mexico right now. I might get some new people on here, but me and my husband, we are living in the rancho in Mexico. And it is so funny because when I was growing up, the only type of quesadilla, a quesadilla to me was a flour tortilla, like, I don't even know what brand it would be, but like a flour tortilla from the bag with yellow cheese. And then my mom would put it in the microwave. And then I would put Ortega sauce on top of it.
Ortega? What?
Yeah, like the creamy Ortega, you know, the one that's not chunky, it's kind of spicy. And
I don't even know what that is.
And then when I came to Mexico with my husband and they make quesadillas every day, well, quesadillas here on a corn shell.
Hey everyone.
And my husband's finally here. Look at, hon, I can see the wording a lot better.
I can't.
Well, my husband got glasses in Michigan. Put your glasses on.
I don't know where they're at right now.
They're right there. I would just put them on so you can read. But it's funny.
How'd you do that?
What? I think it's because of the new camera. I was able to flip it, and before I couldn't.
So we were never able to do that before.
No, we were never able. It would tell us we had to put it back, and everybody said it's a lot better horizontal, and it's better quality.
Yeah,
so it's working out really nice. But okay, we were talking about quesadillas and the difference between. It's so hard, I think, for my husband to understand the way I grew up eating. like I was telling them, a quesadilla to me was I didn't even know corn tortillas existed
Listen.
until after I had Abby.
Me growing up, I swear, like white people have like a secret code
I'm Lupita.
that you can't like, you know what I mean? Like tell anybody what you eat. Like I remember asking your mom, like, what's a traditional like, you know, like white meal? What is it?
You can say white. I'm not offended. Yo soy Lupita.
I know, but I'm saying, like, what would be a traditional?
Señor, yo soy la rancho, okay? Our traditional meal would be a quesadilla, like with a white flour shell.
No, that's not
And-
traditional.
Wait, if I really think, like, what did I eat on a daily basis?
Yeah, like what would be like, say, you know what I mean? Say your mom's getting home from work or whatever it was. What would be a
a white
traditional meal?
household.
Yeah.
My mom never made dinner. It was so rare. A bologna sandwich. Bologna.
That's a snack.
No, it wasn't. That was a meal to me. Like I would take bologna and put mustard and cheese and roll it up into like a bologna taco. That was a meal to me.
Dang.
We didn't have. Every once in a while, my mom would make something like, but we had a lot of things that like macaroni and cheese and hot dogs and hot pockets. My husband just said the traditional hot pocket for Mexicans was the Abby's in the room listening to me and she's like, that's nasty. Well, you're blessed you didn't have to grow up that way. My kids don't understand what I suffered through in my
Wait, read some of the comments because I'm
household.
sure somebody knows what a traditional meal is.
Okay, so my husband, what he's saying is, because I come from a white household.
Like I can tell you right now, I know what Mexicans eat. You know what I mean? We either have, you know, some type of meat, rice, beans, and then
Right.
tortillas. Okay,
Right.
that's like that was a
Hamburger
everyday.
helper. Yes, hamburger helper.
That was an everyday thing. Okay, but like you know,
Meatloaf. Meatloaf. Yes.
man, how do you not know this? What were you all surprised?
Someone said, where's Cristiano? He's laying down. He had an ingrown toenail and we had to do a little bit of surgery to get it out. You know, those aren't fun. So he's laying down right now and resting his Spam. I do remember every once in a while having Spam. Hamburger.
I know what you drink. Juice.
Quesadilla with or without cheese.
Sugar water.
Mashed
pickle.
potatoes. Oh, people are getting some good ones. Bland salad, iceberg lettuce. Yes. Chicken and mashed potatoes.
I feel
green
like you're
beans.
more surprised than I am.
No, these are things ramen noodles. Yes. Spam is nasty. Well, I grew up on Spam, but. Sloppy Joes. Yes. Cup of noodles. White bread and butter. Pot roast. Yes.
What's a
Goulash. Goulash was one.
Oh my gosh.
Goulash. Canned soup and grilled cheese. 100%. Yes, they're naming them. These are what, yeah, these are things we ate. But a lot of it was boxed. It was like she just said, like a canned tomato soup. I did not know how to use fresh tomatoes for anything. I didn't even know salsa could be made outside of like a can. It was so weird coming into my husband's family. I had no idea cilantro existed until one day your dad made zucchini and cheese, calabacitas con queso, con poquito cilantro. And I remember I pulled it out and I was like, this is so good, but like, what is this thing, like this taste in here? And he goes, that's cilantro. And I was like, that's weird. I've never had that.
You've come a long way.
I've come along because when you have Ortega salsa, even the chunky, it doesn't have cilantro in it. I didn't know what that was. Chile, sometimes meat. In America, it was grilled cheese, tomatoes. You can flip it on your phone too. Lalo. Yeah, so that was kind of the American main dishes. If my mom did cook meatloaf, I remember
I didn't grow
my
up
dad
eating any of
loved
those
meatloaf.
things.
No, I think I made you meatloaf for the first time once. You guys aren't big fans of meatloaf. I am. It's a comfort food to me, but
I feel like it's like, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's good. It's just
Right.
not something that
it's
I
not
would eat every day.
quesadillas.
No,
It's not like the ones we had the other day. It's not like tamales.
no.
It's not like that. But I mean, it does. even though some American food that I grew up on, every once in a while, like twice a year, I'll go out of my way to make it just because it brings me like that comfort of when I was a child. Like,
I know, but did you ever have like homemade mac and cheese?
never.
What?
No, never. Never. I make homemade mac and cheese. I've made it on my vlogs before, but I never had homemade everything. The first time I made macaroni and cheese, I probably was 16 because my mom is actually an MRI tech, but she didn't go back to school until I was a teenager, and I was like, well, I can make macaroni and cheese, you know? And I didn't know you're supposed to drain the water. So I boiled the noodles and I put the pack of cheese in there. And then I don't know who it was. And I was like, this is so weird. I don't
Dude,
understand.
I just made Cristiano some bomb mac and cheese when we were in Michigan.
Yeah, that's what my mom, and then you wouldn't tell my mom how you
Yeah,
made it.
I wouldn't tell her the secret.
She wouldn't follow the recipe anyways. There's no way. My mom never follows the recipe, even if it's good. I hope my mom gets on here in a minute because she's going to tell me some of the things she made. Sorry, guys. We're going to catch up on some of these
Where do you
things.
think you learned a lot of your cooking from?
Okay, so let's get back to that then, you guys, because some people might not understand how common it is that a lot of white people have never tried authentic cuisine, and I was one of them, so that's like why I'm okay saying it. But when I started to learn to cook was when my husband, so I knew my husband's family for a very long time. And I always remember I was best friends with his sister, and I walked into their house. And I remember from the outside of their house, I could always smell something so good. And I don't know why, but even though me and his sister were friends, I never ate at their house. Their parents always offered me food, but that's another like
You didn't feel
thing.
like comfortable enough yet, or?
I don't know. Okay, so my husband, he always told our kids when we first came to Mexico, when we go to a family friend's house, when they offer you food, you are gonna sit down and you are gonna try it. I don't want to hear like you fuss or because not
Yeah, I don't want to make you making any faces. And you know what I mean? That's
nothing.
like so disrespectful.
Right.
These people slaved over this meal, and
Right.
you're over here.
And it takes a lot of their, and they are so happy. This is their joy. This means more to them than money even, is like you trying and being a part and loving their food. But I didn't grow up that way. I didn't go to family friends' houses and they were making these meals and they're like, sit down and eat. Like that just didn't happen. So when my husband, sister, and me were friends, and I remember everything always smelled good. But then when I was a little bit older, I started dating my husband, and he literally forced me to sit down in the kitchen. His dad was cooking, and
What did we have?
the first thing he made me try was his dad made spaghetti. Now, like I said, I've had spaghetti from a can, but his dad made fresh spaghetti sauce with like fresh tomatoes and stuff, and he put sausage in it. And then the noodles, I was used to noodles that would go in the strainer and then they'd be rinsed and then you'd put the noodles on your pan. No, his dad cooked the noodles a certain way in butter and they were so good. So he put the noodles on and then he put the sauce with the sausage and then a little bit of the Valentina on top. And I was like, I'll just choke it down, but I'm not gonna like this. That's what I was saying in my head. I think I ate 3 plates. Like, I wasn't even embarrassed to say, can I please have another plate?
I know everybody probably, we probably all think the same way, but my dad was,
An artist with food.
yeah, an amazing cook. I don't know how he did it or why it turned out so good, but
It was amazing.
it was amazing. No matter what it was, it could have been the simplest thing.
Right. So that was the first. I hadn't even tried any other Mexican dish yet. And then the next thing was zucchini and cheese, calabacitas con queso. And that's where the first time I had cilantro. And now I don't like raw tomatoes. So like a lot of salsa that was from a can, like chichi salsa Ortega, I didn't really eat it that much. Like I'd eat the juice on top, but not the chunky stuff. And so then his dad made salsa, like Mexican style, and he made me try it. And I think it was green sauce on top of chicken. And I tore it up. I couldn't get enough. And after that, I was like, I need to learn what you know. He had a gift that he learned here in the ranch when they had mostly like nothing.
From my grandma.
From his grandma. They had nothing. They slept on sacks. He learned this gift that he gave to a gringa. He passed that gift on to me that now I get to share with the world. I get to share these recipes that I have learned from my husband's dad, who he learned from his family here in the rancho.
When do you think you're like, okay, well, I know I like eating it, but when did you decide, well, I want to cook like this?
I think 2 weeks in. I'm gonna tell you why I decided, okay, I'm ready to learn how to cook, because your dad made it look so easy. You know, on Ratatouille, when the rat's like just throwing things in and he's in his own zone and he's so happy, that's what he, right, that's what he made it look like. So I remember I had Abby and she was just a little baby and everybody was at work and I lived at my husband's house with his family. And I said, I'm gonna make rice. And I didn't know, and I knew instant rice, okay? Where you put 1 cup of instant rice and then you put 1 cup of water, right? So that's what I did. But Mexican rice is different. So I put 1 cup of rice and 1 cup of water. It was the most horrid thing I ever tasted in my life. And I was like, I'm gonna have to, and I knew 0 Spanish at the time. And I was like, I'm gonna have to ask his dad now. I'm gonna have to watch him. So I did, and I learned everything. It's not as good as his, but I learned the love of it from his dad, and I get to share Mexican cuisine from our pueblo, from our rancho with the world, from his dad. And it's just crazy how that ignited something. Oh, thank you, Maria. I'm gonna read your comment. Oh, no. I don't want it to go away. Okay. Menudo has always been my all-time favorite, and now I make it for our grandbabies, and they love it, which was so surprising to me because they are half gringos. Right. I think it's just, it's so fresh and good that when you taste it and you've grown up on boxed food your whole life, and then you taste fresh, good food, you're like, and then you have to have the will to make it because
well, no, then like Abigail was like real little. I remember my dad, I think Abigail tried everything, you know, since she was real little. My dad would like sneak things to her, chocolate, Coke, and all that stuff, because like Erin was like, you know, she can only have this. And my dad would give her everything.
And I'll tell you guys something about Abigail. Abigail's my oldest. She's 15 now. Now, when we had Abigail, when she was just old enough to start eating food, I lived with my mother and father-in-law, my suegra y suegro, and he cooked meals all day. So
every day.
Every day. So Abby only grew up on fresh food. She didn't have boxed food. And now Abigail is like a picky eater in the sense that she only wants like this fresh Mexican food. Abby will not eat ketchup. She will not eat chicken nuggets. She won't even eat like a hamburger because she's always had your dad. She loves Mexican spaghetti. Your dad always made that for her. I remember they used to boil the beans and then the juice from it, they'd put it into her bottle when she was like a year old. So she loves beans. And it's funny because she is a picky eater in the sense that she just wants Mexican food.
But then again, it makes it hard. Like, you know, I grew up on my dad's food my whole life. So like, you know, going to a restaurant, I know things are good, but I always feel like, you know, this is missing something. Or like,
yeah.
And like I said, I know a lot of people say, you know what I mean, either their mom was a really good cook or my dad was a really good cook. And I mean, I don't know. I can't explain it. I've had tamales everywhere. I had them in California. I've had them in Michigan. I've had them here in Mexico from several different people, and they're not even compared to what my dad would make.
No, and it's funny, and I also think that it just varies from even ranch to ranch.
Yeah.
Some people will tell me on the comments, that's not how you make that. And I'm like, but here in our rancho, if there's things I didn't learn how to make, I will ask the local mamas, that's what they call them, or our local tias or anything else, how do you make this? And so it's local to your community, how it's made and the flavors of it. Enchiladas, for example, some people only use la chiles de árbol and some seasoning, but here they use jitomate y chiles de árbol and a couple other things. So it really depends, and that's what we're used to, is it having that hint of tomato in it.
Well, you know, it's weird. Like, when I do cook, I don't cook very often, but when I do cook,
He's the best.
I
Way better
feel
than
like
me.
I can think about, I can try it and then think about, well, it's missing this, because I remember like what my dad's food tastes like.
I think you just know too. Like you can make a mad cup, like not cup of noodles, ramen noodles. It doesn't taste like ramen noodles.
No.
It tastes like caldo.
Yeah.
You guys know that's the other thing. I found a secret spot. If the kids don't have school tomorrow, we might be able to go there. There is a secret spot in Ocotlan, and I'm gonna tell you how I randomly ran into it. It was meant from God. It had to be. It had to have been. I brought my friend out to Ocotlan, and I parked my car because I had to go into the mercado. And she said, I have more things to do. I'm gonna take the bus home. She was gonna be there a couple hours. And I said, okay. I was like, if you don't wanna take the bus, don't message me. But the little girls had to use the restroom. So I know my way through the mercado. There's a lot of twists and turns. I normally go the main way through, turn left, hit the bathrooms. But this time, something said, turn left before you normally do, okay? And I'm like, kind of looks dark over
And it was
there.
a one-way street.
No, it was like, I was still in the mercado, and it kind of looked dark, and I was like, I don't know if I should. I was like, I'm gonna do it. So I turned right there. And this lady, there's a spot in the mercado, it looks like a mini kitchen. And this lady, she was so nice. She's saying to me in Spanish, I recognize you, but I didn't know that word. And Annabelle's so rude sometimes, okay? And she's like, the lady said it 3 times. And I said, hola, you know, but I didn't know what she was saying. Annabelle goes, Mom, she said she recognizes you, like from your YouTube. And I was like, okay, Annabelle, you can tell me nicely, you know? And I said, oh, hi. I said, do you speak English? Are you watching from here? And she goes, yeah, I do. She goes, I'm from Texas. And she spoke such good English, but she was so excited to meet us. She's saying in Spanish. And I said, it's so nice to meet you. I said, it's so funny. I never go this way. And she goes, I have been hoping I would see you. She goes, I can't believe it. Will you please take a picture with me so I can send my husband? He's gonna be so jealous. And I was laughing. And I said, are you getting something to eat? And she said, yeah, I get, she gets caldo, and then they put a side of rice. And
But was it caldo de pollo or what?
de pollo. And it smelled so good. And I said, do you like it here? And she goes, this is the cleanest and best spot to get food. And I said, it's so funny you say that, because I wouldn't have stopped here if it wasn't for you. So then,
But the weird thing is that Mercado has like homemade food. Like,
yes.
You know what I mean? You can get, you know, different caldos, menudo, pozole, you know, just different dishes to go. It's not like,
Yeah, it's not just tacos, no.
Yeah.
So I said, what do they sell? And she said caldo, and she said, I'm getting mine to go. They put it in this big bag and rice, and I said, I'm gonna get one to go too. I was like, that looks so good. We were so hungry. So they gave us something to go. They only had an order for one, and I said, okay. So I got that caldo rice, and they gave us tortillas. I'm not even kidding. It might have been the best food I've ever had in Ocotlan. They had the tortillas about this big. You could tell they were fresh, like hand-pressed ones. The rice in the soup, my girls tore it up. I have to do a vlog there. I have to take you. You can get it to go, or you can eat it there, but we might get it to go. Best rice I have ever had. But I have to share that hidden secret with you guys. If you ever come out to Ocotlan, you have to stop there and try this caldo.
There's a lot of them though. Like my mom usually goes to Ocotlan, and there's a lady that usually sells different like homemade meals like that. So it depends on, you know, whatever she made for the day.
Yeah, it depends on what they make for the day, and they use a little bit of everything. But growing up, that was another thing I had never had, was fresh chicken soup made from scratch. It was always from a can. But did you always have fresh soup growing up?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Did you ever have anything? Okay, so if you can, give them an example of what a day would have looked like for you, maybe as a teenager, like for me. Because I would have came home and I would have had to bake my own food. I would have made like a sandwich, like a bologna sandwich.
No, I would have my dad. My dad would wake up like I do, like, you know what I mean, 5 o'clock in the morning or something. My dad would already had to clean the house, and then made breakfast for everybody.
What would he have made for breakfast?
Huevo enchilito, huevo con guineas, rice with beans,
Every
a steak.
day?
It was every day. It was like different meals every day.
No, not in my house. At most time I would forget breakfast, or I'd have breakfast at school. Okay, and then for lunch you probably ate at school, right?
No,
Or they'd pack you a lunch.
no, like, I mean, sometimes I would eat at school, but like, it was just like more like a snack because you know, what I mean, we had just ate a big meal.
Okay, and
So then I would get out at 2:45.
uh-huh.
You know, and then I live probably a 20-minute or 25-minute walk from my middle school to the house, and I had to walk. We didn't have a bus or anything.
Right.
So yeah, we had to walk, and then I would get home. Again, my dad had already cleaned everything, did all the dishes, cleaned the whole house, and then made, you know, whatever it was to eat.
Well, what would be coming home, what would be a normal meal for dinner?
Do some ceviche.
Ceviche he'd
Yeah.
make?
Everything,
You're joking.
everything that you can think about in a Mexican restaurant. That's what my dad would make me on a daily basis.
Like all you guys.
Yeah.
And then that is so crazy to me. Yeah, I never had ceviche until one day I was here in Mexico and Lalo's dad was driving home from somewhere and he stopped on the road and there was a guy with a cooler and he took out a bag of something and he goes, "You have to try this." I was like, "I don't want to, I'm scared." It came out of some bag in the middle of the road. Best ceviche I've ever had in my life. Oh, let me get back to your comment real quick. That's the hard part about this. No. Love watching the family and the progress of your home. Wishing you all the best. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you.
Yeah, ceviche on the street. That's funny. So compared to me, I would get home and I'd have a bologna sandwich and you'd have fresh ceviche.
Listen, my dad would make
That's so funny.
these papas. They were like diced, okay? These diced papas with a red sauce, but then on top of it, he would melt provolone cheese. It was amazing.
So let me ask you this. Here's another difference between, I say gringa. I don't consider myself gringa, but I am gringa. So also growing up, when my mom did make dinner, say she made meatloaf and mashed potatoes, I would get up and serve myself. I would grab my own meat and mashed potatoes.
Dude, I would wake up, like I said, I would wake up to go to school, and everything would be laid out for us.
Yeah, and then you'd eat, and then
Yeah,
you'd
and
go.
then we'd eat, and then this is another weird thing, okay? I guess it's what you don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, me growing up, we didn't have a whole lot, you know what I'm saying?
No, they had 4 children, my husband's parents, and they lived in a 1-bedroom apartment in Wilmington, which is close to Los Angeles.
So, to me, our lifestyle was, you know, that's just what I knew. I thought everybody lived this way, okay?
Right.
But my dad somehow, every day would give us money. Every day. Either $10 or $20, but every day we would have money. My dad would never, like, send us off to school without any money. And I thought everybody did this.
No, and his parents were immigrants, to give you some reference. They were immigrants, and his life was so different compared to mine, because even though my parents were immigrants, they worked very hard, but our life was so different. I didn't have money every day, not even for little things. Like, we never even went out to eat unless it was a very special occasion. But like I said,
we didn't have to go out to eat. Like I said, my dad would make like this big spread every day.
Because he knew how, though.
Yeah.
It was such a skill that even though they didn't have a lot financially, he could still give them so much joy through food because he knew how to make food. He had that skill, he had that trade,
So,
and my family didn't.
In case you guys are wondering, why my dad would be the one making breakfast, my dad didn't work for anybody. Because he was illegal, he never wanted to get a job at a company or, he just didn't want to go through that whole process.
But he still made money, and you should tell them as a kid. My husband told me a story once that my husband, he wasn't embarrassed, but he would kind of dumpster dive to get paper and stuff. And one time he found National Geographic books.
Yeah.
And you remember as a kid being so excited because they were brand new.
Yeah.
But explain that to them a little bit, how you helped your dad, but it didn't feel, it's some of your best memories.
It is. So, my dad had his own business, okay? So, on Sundays, we would sell at the swap meet at Alpine Village. I know I mentioned it out here before. Or at the Long Beach Car Show. During the week, my dad would pick up scrap metal. My dad would pick up cardboard at the time, office paper, newspaper, and then whatever he found on the road. If he found a bike or whatever it was. He would recycle copper wire, things like that.
Why would they throw away paper in the trash cans? Like, that's odd.
Because it was bigger companies. So you would go to these bigger companies. I'm talking about real dumpsters. I'm not talking about going through people's trash, but actual dumpsters.
Like company dumpsters.
Yeah, like company dumpsters. And we would have I remember going in there and that was so fun to me. I remember me being about Annabelle's age. And whenever my dad because my dad wouldn't stop all day. He would make sure that he was home for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But other than that, my dad was working.
Right, he was going to look for recyclable material and things like that.
Yeah, so he was either, recycling or getting stuff for the swap meet. So my dad had connections all over California. I know this is gonna sound weird, or maybe not, but my dad, I don't know if you guys remember, what was the shop that Pit My Ride happened? It was West Coast Customs.
Yeah, on MTV.
So my dad knew the owner of that place, and that's where he would get a lot of the stuff from. So he would get rims and tires from there. He would get bumpers, grills, lights, from all these different kind of vehicles. And he had other places that we would go. So my dad had a whole route. My dad knew all the trash days, all these other things. And that's how my dad would make money. And I remember that was my whole, from 4 years old probably till I was 19 when we moved to Michigan.
And my husband, growing up is different for him because his first language was Spanish. His parents were immigrants. But he grew up learning trades that have benefited us to this day.
Yeah.
Because when you grow up, I don't want to say with nothing because our homes were full of love, but we did not grow up upper class. Neither of us did. So I felt like we weren't afraid to really push for our dreams because we knew we could live either way. I knew if we had to live without some things, we were okay because I knew how to cook at home and bring my family to the table.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of love. So I feel like us growing up, lower class, lower income, did not hinder us. Because even now we would be considered that, but we have so much love and so much goodness in our family. And I feel like we've been taught so many trades that for some reason, me and my husband have grasped onto.
So I don't know if I've told this story on here before, but I remember being 10 years old, and every Saturday we would have to load 2 trucks. Okay, so we had a 1972 Chevy pickup long bed that we would load with all the tires and rims and bumpers and whatever else. And then my dad had a 1968 Ford Ranger F100 that had a camper on it, and then that's where we would load all the boxes and stuff into, okay?
Right.
So because I was the smallest at the time, I would be the one to stack it in the camper, okay? And I got so good at this, I'm it's almost like Tetris. I don't know if you guys ever played Tetris, but I could like,
Who's played Tetris? What is Tetris?
Tetris was like a stacking game. So you would have to fit certain shapes into certain spots.
No, I've never played that game in my
Dude,
life.
I could, that's why I'm so good at packing, I think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Packing.
But I'm kind of losing track here.
Okay.
So we had to load the truck every Saturday, and then Sunday morning at 5, we'd have to wake up, and then we'd drive to Torrance to Alpine Village. So my dad, I still can't grasp like my dad's way of thinking. I remember the first time we went to the swap meet, my dad picked the farthest spot that you could pick. Mm-hmm. Okay, we were like way out there for whatever reason.
Right.
And I didn't ask him at the time, but we had to unload all these things. So I'm just not having it that day. You know what I'm saying? I wanted right in front of us there was a batting cage. It's like they had arcade and batting cages and stuff. And I remember asking my dad, I was like, "Man, can I have some money to go to the batting cages?" My dad was like, "No, we just got here. We haven't even sold anything." You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh, it's weird. I can't imagine your dad saying no because he'd baby you guys.
Yeah, I know.
He wasn't tough like you.
Well then, but I think he already had this idea. Okay.
Right.
So, I'm still mad. I'm still unloading the truck and stuff. And my dad goes, after a little while, he was like, "I'll make a deal with you." He goes, "Well, what?" I was like, "Well, what is it?" He goes, "I will pay you. I can't remember. I think it was $10 or $15. I can't remember the exact amount." He goes, "I'll pay you $20, $15 or whatever it was. If no, oh no. He said if he picked up a rock, it was probably this big. Okay, it was like round, like kind of flat. Picked up a rock, and then he goes, "If I sell this rock, you owe me 2 Sundays in a row." So my dad would pay us. I can't remember the exact amount. It was probably $10 or $15 every time we would help him at the swap meet. Okay, so he would pay us that amount. He goes, "You'd owe me 2 Sundays." So that would be, if it was $15, then I would owe him $30. You know what I mean? For the next 2 Sundays. If he sold it. If he didn't sell it, then my dad would give me that money.
Right.
Okay? And I was like, shoot. I was like, you're on. You know what I mean? So then my dad had this big long table where we would put all these different car emblems on.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad picked up that rock and then he like walked off. Okay? I think he took Jennifer, my sister, took her with him, and then came back after a little while.
Right.
He sat Jennifer down in the back of the truck and then had her paint this rock.
Right.
I think he painted it red, I think. And then so I'm over here thinking in my mind, you know what I mean, what's stupid paint gonna do? You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna do anything. I'm still getting $30.
Well, that's how you are. You're stubborn because you're like that with me. You're like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah, so then my dad's sitting there painting this rock and stuff, and then my sister paints it all red. And later on, my dad grabs it. Once it dries, my dad grabs it, and then he puts like little dots on it. Okay, so he painted it like a ladybug. Puts it on the table. So my dad, what he would do as the table would start clearing up from emblems or whatever else we were selling from there, he would start bringing more stuff out. Okay, so this particular time was he brought out 2 bags, like just plastic bags. And one of the bags had the old, the original 501 red tag jeans. These were like super rare at the time. Okay, still are. Well, he had a few pair of pants in there. The other bag had like a jean coat, also Levi's red tag.
Right.
There was a few of those in there. Okay.
Right.
So my dad brought these out, puts them right next to that stinking rock. Okay. And I still remember to this day, I still remember this lady's face, okay? It was already like 2:30, and I was like, man, I'm about to make $30, you know what I mean? It's almost time to pick up. That's all I could think about. I remember this lady's face so well. I mean, honestly, she looked like Aaron. She was a redhead. She was dressed in all Levi's, cowboy boots, and this big, like jade belt buckle. Okay,
Right.
red hair, like red hair.
Western, yeah.
Yeah, I remember this lady walking up to it, went straight for the Levi's. Okay, she was looking at him, and I think she asked my dad, how much for the Levi's, and then kind of lost interest in it. When she was looking at the Levi's, my dad took out the coat, okay, the jean jacket. Dude, he hung it up on the. We had like a little tent thing. He hung it up on there, and this lady immediately starts looking at it.
Right.
Okay, she was like, "How much for the jacket?" And my dad goes like this, okay, because I asked my dad in Spanish. I had to translate for him. I asked my dad in Spanish. He goes like this, and I was like, $2. He goes, "No, 200." I was like, 200. Dude, this jean jacket was all ripped up and stuff. And I remember, I was like, there's no way this lady's gonna take this. You know what I mean? So the lady was like, would you take 175? My dad goes, okay. And I'm looking at this lady, 175 for a jacket that's all ripped up. Whatever, you know what I mean? I didn't care. I was getting the jacket as I took it off the hanger, and then I was putting it in a bag. I went to go hand it to her, and she's seen the stinking rock, okay? She goes, how much for the rock? My dad goes, $20. She goes, I'll take the rock too. I was like, dang it. How does this happen? You know what I mean? How, not once did I complain about going to the swap meet ever again. So like, now, like, this is my mentality throughout the rest of my life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where I could pick up a rock, paint it, and somebody will pay me for it.
Right. Trying to put on a little bit more light for us. That's just how your dad was.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. But yeah, that's how I grew up. That was the rest of my, teen years.
And it's a lot different because he grew up as an immigrant child but was growing up in the United States, and
I mean, that was a lot for me, dude. Like, I used to remember, I was really shy when I was a kid. Like Annabelle's age, I was really, really
Right.
shy.
right,
I had to lose, whatever that was, because all of a sudden I became my parents' translator.
right,
I became an employee. I
Right.
became, all these things that I wasn't like, maybe I wasn't supposed to be doing. I don't know. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Maybe not, but maybe because, like I said, we grew up completely opposite. So I grew up in a completely American household where I just had to go to school and come home, and my mom and dad spoke perfect English and all that other. I didn't worry about that. And then my husband having to go to the swap meets on the weekend, waking up at 3 a.m. to help provide for his family.
Well, that wasn't the only thing we did. Like, that was one of the things we did. I remember all summer, every summer. So where we lived, our landlord also had some apartments in San Pedro.
Yeah,
Okay, he had some apartments in San Pedro, and then our landlord lived in Palos Verdes.
right,
So every summer, me, my dad, and my older brother would have to go paint these other apartments. And I remember my dad giving me, the worst thing that, like, I didn't like doing. I had to like cut in the walls and stuff with paint. And I just absolutely hate it. I'm not the most patient person. But I feel like my dad did that for a reason now. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I could cut up a wall like nothing. You know what I mean? I still don't like it. But I feel like it also learned me to have patience, and it gave me a skill. You know what I mean? That, like, my brothers still ask me to do all these things. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't learn how to do it.
right. And I feel like these skills that he had growing up and then things I learned growing up, it's so crazy because I've had every advantage as a white American. And you're a white American, you have a lot more advantages, but I chose a completely different path because I see so much love and joy in this immigrant family. And I didn't even know your family was immigrants at the time, but I did know something was so different about their family. I didn't know you guys were immigrants until your dad left for Mexico when I was about 17, and
That's when my dad got his residency.
right. And I still didn't understand what any of that meant, but I just knew there was love in their family. Like, before I could speak any Spanish, I remember after their family would eat, everybody would go to the living room, and they had kind of a smaller living room. Everybody would watch the same show, and it was like, Caso Cerrado, and that lady would have like a big sledgehammer. I had no idea what they were talking about in the show. It was so dramatic. And but the whole entire family would sit and watch this show together. And they were already adults by then because Jennifer was the youngest, she was my friend, and we were older teenagers at the time. And all the brothers would sit in there and watch it. You'd get home from work, and I remember you'd just put your hoodie on, and everybody would sit together and watch Caso Cerrado. And I was like, what is happening here? My family can't agree on anything. There is no way we'd all be able to sit every single day after we eat and watch the same show together. And then I remember I remember you guys would go out to eat a lot together, and that was like something we only did on a very, very special occasion, and that was something that was so common for them.
Well, I remember my dad telling me, he goes, you know, my dad also grew up without a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my dad might not spend a lot of money on themselves, but I remember my dad always telling us, if you're gonna spend money, make sure it's on food. Make sure it's something that you like. Make sure it's something that, you know what I mean, that means a lot to you. And food meant a lot to us.
Right, it means a lot to our family. Food brings us together because my family didn't grow up eating at the table every once in a while, but we would make something to eat and maybe we'd go sit in the living room or something like that. But our family now, we all gather together at the island and
Yeah.
we all eat. And the funny thing is, even when the kids don't have to, when it's later at night in the rancho and they're selling papas or tacos or something, if we bring them home, everybody gathers at the island. Nobody scatters anywhere, and they don't even think to do that. That's why, like, in our home we're building, my suegra has a really small island. That's one thing I want to do, is build a really big island because we love eating together. That's a very special thing in our family that money can't buy, and it's a huge blessing to us. And it's just funny because growing up American, he grew up American, but with Mexican immigrant parents, and we chose the immigrant route. We left for Mexico.
It wasn't, I don't think that it was an immigrant route.
I think though we don't understand that. I think Americans in some way lost that joy along the way somehow.
I don't know if it's lost. I think, like, for us, at least, for me at least, was when I came back to Mexico. I didn't come back to Mexico till I was 25. And that was only because I was pretty much left here, you know what I mean, by the US.
Right. They wouldn't allow him back in.
They wouldn't allow me back in for a year and a half. So I had to spend that year and a half here. You know what I mean? Which at the time seemed, terrible to me.
Wait, I just really had to quick say something. Somebody on here keeps making really like rude comments. My husband is not high, nor would he ever be. That is just not something that our family does. We might have one drink at a quinceañera, but we don't even keep alcohol in the house. My husband's been up since about 4 this morning working outside.
And I can't see very good, so
right,
I'm
but
probably squinting.
Who's ever saying that, I just want you to know, they're just saying that to be stupid. My husband is not any of that. I wouldn't be with someone who was doing stuff like that, but he's perfectly fine. So I don't know who that person is, but you can move on. Okay, oh yeah, Sam, they already reported you, Sam. Samford. You guys are making it worse. Just don't respond. Yeah, okay. We're done with Sam. This is my YouTube fam, you guys. So Sam, you might want to be careful because my YouTube fam don't put up with it. When somebody leaves like a mean comment, like sometimes Abby or Annabelle will be like, Well, they mean comment they left. And I'm like, my YouTube family always takes care of it. The people who love and know our family, they always take care of it. So I'm not even gonna worry about it. So Sam, you might just wanna be done with it because
Alright,
they don't play
drop
around.
it.
Right,
That's it.
exactly.
I forgot what I was saying.
Well, Sam started some chismosa on our page right now. Okay, hold on. You too.
What?
No, it's just, okay, I'm from Hispanic. Okay, we're moving on from Sam, because I'm done. Hispanic descent as well, but American 5 generations back. Oh, wow. Keep going, beautiful family. God bless Silly Sam. Yes, God bless you, Silly Sam, because it might be that the atmosphere is different and that you feel more comfortable, and it's just a difference between the two countries.
Oh, I
You're
know.
truly blessed.
I know what we were talking about. We're coming back to Mexico.
Okay, wait, hold on. I gotta do something real quick. Okay, all right, guys. I got rid of Sam. Okay, go ahead.
I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, I remember me coming back to Mexico. You know, changed a lot to me. Like, I think I realized that I didn't have to work the way I was working. I think I realized that, you know, this was more important. Not losing, uh, you know, what my dad left us.
Right. No, not losing was that left us. And you know what? That brings up a good point. So I'm going to tell you guys something. And somebody keeps asking on here about our citizenship. So I'm just going to let you guys know we have dual citizenship, and that was not hard. It was hard for my husband to get citizenship into the United States. But when we moved to Mexico, the process to get citizenship was not hard because my husband was born in Mexico and he is a Mexican citizen and he owns property here in Mexico. It did take months, but it was not as hard of a process. Now, if you are not married to someone who was born into Mexico, things are changing for Americans coming into Mexico, and it is not as easy anymore. I'm very blessed I have my husband. I never even knew I would need that, but we are blessed in that way. But if you are American, not married to somebody who was born in Mexico, it is not easy anymore, you guys. The thing is, we know, like in Chapala and Ajijic, it is all Canadians and Americans. Some people would not believe the amount of Americans that live in Mexico and love being here. But now it is a lot harder. Mexico is not messing around. Mexico is growing, and it's changing. So we are very blessed in that way. But I did somebody kept asking about that, so I just wanted to get that out there. But then what were we talking about before that?
Coming to Mexico and why we came here.
Yeah, so it is different here. If you guys watch my vlogs, you know, living here in Mexico is it's like going back 40 years. Not everybody has cell phones out. Kids are playing and running around and everybody's outside.
And again, I know I'm gonna hear this on the comments, but like, we're talking about our experience, where we live. We're not talking about all of Mexico. I know
No.
in the cities, kids are on their cell phones because they just don't have, the freedom to be outside like our kids.
Like in the pueblos or in the ranchos. Yeah. It's different. It's different everywhere you go in Mexico, kind of like how there's different places in the United States. Okay, and so now that we've kind of told you guys the differences between us growing up American gringa and American Mexican, I'm gonna tell you guys something else that shook me to my core, and now I wouldn't care. I grew up that you put everything in the fridge, okay? Like that is it does not stay out longer than an hour and it goes in the fridge. Mayonnaise, ranch, mustard, ketchup, all of that. And one day I was at my husband's house, and is when I started getting more comfortable with my husband and seeing him. And I opened up the pantry to look for something, and there was mayonnaise in there. Half-used mayonnaise,
Mayonnaise, ketchup,
mustard, ranch, you guys. They never, ever, 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 ever put it in the fridge. If there was rice or beans left over, that did not go in the fridge. That would get covered, but stay out till the next day. I want to tell
it
you.
wasn't to the next day. Like in our case, we would kind of eat throughout the day. Cause like as we got older, even though we still live with my parents, we all had jobs. You know what I'm saying? So we would all get home at different times. So you know what I mean? That way my mom wouldn't have to like bring everything out and everything else.
I will say something though. My husband has the best immune system in the world. When all of us a couple years ago, we all got COVID, and every single even his mom got COVID. We were all so sick. My husband, nothing, didn't touch him. So the other day when I shared my slushie with my husband, the only reason I did that was because I know he's not going, it's so rare if he gets sick. And I think that's because they left the mayonnaise out and the ranch and all that. I think that's why it built up his immunity, his like gut health. I think it did, because I could never leave out mayonnaise in my house. I would be sick the next day, but not. And then one time, you guys, his mom, because they never cooked on like boxed food and stuff, and I was living at their house, and I had bought these cordon bleus that were in a plastic package, and you put them in the freezer, but you have to cook them in the oven for like 45 minutes at 400 degrees or something, okay? They're raw chicken. And I was in medical assisting school at the time, and I came home for break, and Hilda had made me one of those cordon bleus, and it was so good. It was so like juicier than normal and everything, and I was like, man, that was so good. Laughed. I was fine, okay? The next day I was watching her make one. She put it in the microwave with the plastic on it for like 4 minutes. And I just remember I could have had a heart attack. You don't need to be eating raw chicken. And I must have ate raw chicken. And then I had to tell her, you had to cook those in the oven. She still never cooked them in the oven. No. She still cooked them in the microwave.
Well, you didn't get sick from it.
I didn't, but still. Oh my goodness. If
I go back, I could tell you guys so many stories, and a lot of people criticize my dad for like what he did. But like I said, I don't think I realized, what we had back then.
I don't think we don't refrigerate mayo or ketchup either. No eggs either.
Yeah, see?
See, is that a Mexican household thing? You guys let me know if you grew up in a Hispanic household, if you put mayonnaise in the fridge or mustard or ketchup in the fridge or not, or anything in the fridge besides cheese. And I still ate. That food was too good. I still ate. I risked it all. She said, I refrigerate everything. But did your grandparents refrigerate everything, or your parents? Oh, we never refrigerated mustard or ketchup.
Yeah, see?
I don't even think if you guys had, I'm trying to think of some other things you guys didn't refrigerate. What's the difference between rancho and pueblo and a hacienda? Okay. Oh, let me go down. Sorry. Scrat335. Great question. I'd love to answer that. Do you want to answer? You want me to answer?
I don't know the answer to it. You know what I mean? A hacienda was, back in the 1800s where you had one owner that owned thousands of acres.
The Spaniards.
It wasn't all Spaniards.
It wasn't all Spaniards, but it's deep, you guys. There's some cryptic languages carved into these old things.
I know, but I don't know, I guess a rancho and a pueblo could be the same thing. I think it just depends on the size that you're speaking about. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
And then obviously, us, going into Ocotlan, that would be considered a pueblo because we're more in the outskirts of Ocotlan.
Oh, you must shut that water.
But again, I don't know, the exact terminology that they use everywhere in Mexico.
I will tell you guys something. This came up once because people were really upset with me They're like, it's not a rancho, it's a pueblo, it's a pueblo. So I went to the people in a rancho and I asked them one day with my husband and I said, people on my YouTube are telling me that this is a pueblo. And I said, what do you guys call it? And they're all asking and they're like, rancho. And then they're like saying it to themselves as sentences and they're like, no, it's rancho. So I don't even think they go too deep into it. They've just always called it rancho.
I mean, I think a pueblo is, more like like Ocotlan, where you don't really see animals on the street, and we still have all that.
Right.
You see cows all the time,
Right,
goats all the time.
right.
Loose pigs. We still have all that stuff.
No, dude, don't mess around with pigs. I'm not playing games with you guys. You guys think pigs... I'm going to tell you guys something. Some people come here from the United States for like the fiestas and stuff. They don't know that there's certain words that these animals know, like the cows and the pigs and the goats and stuff. And when they get loose, which if a cow gets loose, they are herd animals and they will follow each other. If you have never been next to a cow, they are huge, okay? So every once in a while, you guys know I go on my evening walks, and every once in a while, you'll run into a herd of cows. And I'm gonna tell you something. There's a couple of things you need to know. Number one, you need to make sure there's no toro, which is a bull. You need to make sure the bull's not around. Number two, you need to look at your surroundings and make sure there's a fence.
Listen, Negative Nancy, you're over here paranoid about some cows.
You need to make sure there's a fence high enough you could throw your kids over if they started running at you, okay? Cows will run at you. If they have babies or something, they'll run at you. Third, but this might be the most important, you need to know what words these animals understand. And one of the words they understand is hoka. But what is the real word? Because I was saying it once to my husband, and he...
I have no idea what
No, it's a real word.
I mean, your delusion.
No,
your fear,
I'm going to bring Abby out. No, I've watched the farmers around here, and what they'll do is they'll be like, hoka! And then they say that, and then the cows run. And I'm not even kidding. One time I got into a bad situation with a cow when I was out on a walk, especially the younger cows that are really hyper and stuff. And, they'll kind of mess with you. They'll kind of act like they're eating, but then like go like that at you. And I'm like, man, dude, like there's just property around. I can't run anywhere. But if you go, hookah, like how their owners would say it, they back off. So if you're coming to Mexico, you want to know, like if you're coming to the ranchos because you want to go to the fiestas and you want to see your family, you remember that there's wild farm animals out here. And you don't want to be the gringa or the gringo, like stuck getting chased down the road by a cow. Do you know how mortified I would be if I got chased down the road by a cow and I didn't know how to say hoka and like scare it away? Because even though I'm afraid of the cows, I know people are always walking around and watching out their windows. So I have to play it off cool, calm, collective, and hoka, those cows. Some of you might know that word.
This is a made-up
Some
word.
of them might, it is not. Okay, number one, you shouldn't say that. If any of you guys have been in Mexico and heard farmers say that, Abigail, will you come here and tell them, please?
That's not what they say.
Okay, come tell them what they say. Abigail used to go milk cows with families. Here she comes. She's going to tell you it is. And please don't act like these cows aren't vicious sometimes, especially when they have babies, because sometimes you push me in front of you. Okay, so what do the farmers say? This is my oldest daughter, Abigail.
I don't know how they
She's
say
15.
it properly.
Okay, but just pretend, for instance, that there's a cow in front of you, and
They're
we
like,
have...
it's like, hola, como.
No, it's like hoka.
No, that's only sometimes, Mom.
Okay, but if you
Yeah, they say
know
that
the word,
sometimes, but it's like, I don't know how Lola said it.
think about it. If you're in a life or death situation between a cow, what are you gonna say? I'm telling you right now. No, I'm telling you right now. If my whole family's with me and they decide to stand by Lalo, I'm gonna say hoka, and I'm gonna make a way.
Yeah, like it's gonna get in the way.
I'm
for the
telling
green
you
guy,
guys
yup.
right now. I'm gonna vlog. You know what? I'm gonna vlog tomorrow. I'm gonna on purpose go out to a cow farm so that you guys can hear the survival words against these animals.
Yeah, you're gonna make a whole vlog about it.
They're
the
survival words.
Oh
You
my
guys
gosh.
are laughing, but I'm telling you right now. Okay, there is survival words for dairy animals. Hoka.
No,
for,
that's the. I don't know what. I
yeah.
don't know where you're getting this
No,
from.
I
No,
swear
remember
to
how
you.
Lola says this is like ox. I don't know how to say
No, she's. Oh yeah, it is kind of like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
They would under. And then if there's a gang of chihuahuas
Is this
out.
what you're hearing, or like what's
No.
going on here?
If there's a gang of chihuahuas out, chucho, because there's so many stray dogs in Mexico, especially in the rancho. The big dogs won't bother you. They mind their business. It's the small chihuahuas that come in packs that will tear you apart. You need to say chucho, and you need to pretend like you're throwing a rock at
I'm
them.
afraid of your
That you
rooster.
pick up a free.
Yeah, I'm afraid of the roosters too.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about roosters. You're on your own.
They're not
You
even
better
scared
know.
of Dad. They
You
even
better
attack
know how
Dad.
to grab a rooster, because that's all I'm gonna say. There's no secret words for roosters. All of us are cautious around roosters. No, because there's a lot of wild chickens around our ranch.
Roosters you don't play with.
You
That's
don't
the
play
one
games
thing.
with
I wouldn't
roosters.
be scared of anything else except a rooster.
Listen,
No.
you guys are sitting here arguing about some stinking chihuahuas and roosters that don't even bother you.
They don't
do.
bother you. They sense my fear.
Yeah, I know. That's.
But I can't help my fear. So I have to know the key words for
You
survival.
have 200
No,
pound
they
German
don't.
shepherds
Oh
and you're
my
scared of
God.
some chihuahuas.
Yes, because they travel in gangs. I'm going to tell you guys, on one of my vlogs, there was an example. There was these Chihuahua Dobermans that... No,
Chihuahua
they were mini Dobermans,
No way.
and they came out of nowhere.
Oh, remember?
Yeah,
You
this
made
is
a
why
vlog
you
about
remember.
it.
Yes,
Mom
they
made a
came
vlog
out of
about it.
nowhere. The girls, the little girls, are jumping on me. I'm terrified.
And
My
I'm already
husband's
walking.
laughing.
I already left.
Abigail has her ears like this, and she's walking as fast
I'm
as
already
she
halfway
can.
gone. I'm gone.
She turned the corner. I had no idea where Abby went. Finally, we get the dogs away. The owner had to come out of the house and get them. I don't know where Abby went. We turned the corner, and Abby's sitting there. She's like, "Are they gone?" But she's had her ears plugged, and I just see her walking as fast as she can. Abigail's instinct is not, I will save my family. Whenever we have been in a bad situation with an animal or
left.
something,
Out.
Abby, like if I'm in the backyard,
Out of sight, out of mind. That's
yeah,
what I say.
if me and Abby have to take care of the animals, if that rooster comes to attack me, I swear to you guys, Abby will plug her ears and run for the house. She plugs her ears so she can't hear me screaming for help. I swear to you guys, I'm not even lying. It is so messed up. Cristiano would risk his life for us. Annabelle would run with you. Annabelle doesn't play. If Pee-Pee would maybe protect me. Abigail plugs her ears. She does not care. And I told her, I was like, Abby, what if there's like a real situation? And she's like, it's her fight or flight. She doesn't even know she's doing it. She's just like,
There is no real
Bye.
situation. You're talking about chihuahuas and roosters. There's no situation.
Dad, the rooster has attacked you before. Don't be acting like it hasn't.
right.
I know. I don't plug my ears and run.
No.
That's like the last thing you want to do.
No, that's actually close to the second thing you would want to do. Roosters, number one. You guys might not know this if you don't have
They're more
roosters.
aggressive. They protect their hens.
Right,
That's
and
what it is.
and they don't. You think like they're gonna run at you and peck? Their beak is not the issue. It's their
talons.
raptor
It's
talons.
talons.
They have. When I want you guys to Google talons of roosters. They're literally like raptors, and when they run, they go up on their chest. They run. They leap
Like, have
in
you ever
the
seen a
air.
rooster fight? That's how it is.
From Jurassic Park, they leap in the air so that they're at chest level, and it goes in, and you're done. So I don't mess around with roosters. Neither does Abby. We don't play that game.
Exactly.
Ridiculous.
I don't play a
No.
game with roosters. I have kikirikis, and I'm even scared of the kikirikis.
Yeah.
That's how traumatized.
No, because what if you're in the
I
wrong
think we've
place
had
at the wrong
one
time?
nice rooster. Like
We've
come
had
on.
some roosters are very kind and loving, But yeah, if you plan on coming out to Mexico and you think you're so cool and stuff, you better remember that those animals will put you in check real quick.
That's true.
Don't be thinking you'll be like me going on nice evening walks unless you know the way of the land.
The way of the land. Oh my gosh, is you
Taylor,
from
what are you, Mary
Pocahontas? Oh
My
my
gosh.
gosh, the way of the land. Oh
I don't
my
have to
gosh.
mention that my family has Native American in them.
Oh my. I
Which is
can't.
probably why
Oh,
I
you can
remember
tell
the safety words.
I can't.
Do you guys see how hard it is being in my family? Because like they're all Hispanic and I'm not, so they think, but I have a little
Your
bit of
whiteness
Native
is
in me.
haunting this house. That's what it is.
You have survived because of me. Okay? There's plenty of situations. I am sure of
I've
it.
run. That's why I've survived.
Yeah, we've had some really
Do you remember when you went up to the crossing, you seen that coyote with the dog?
yeah, no, I've seen coyotes. I just turned around. I didn't make a peep. I turned around and I went the other way. I've seen some wild things out here, you guys. And Abby, you have too, just walking
Yeah.
around with me. But the little girls, they'll all just leave me, and I would just have to fend for myself. That's just the way it is. We actually, when we had baby cows, even though they were babies and they were so cute, they would ram you. Do you remember that?
When you're giving them their bottle, they'll ram into you.
And Abby used to give them their bottle, and then she'd run for her life and jump the fence.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Because they get the zoomies. That's what it is. They can ram into you getting the zoomies.
Right.
And then they kick with their back legs.
right, and they're so big.
They're babies.
No, but they're so big.
I feel like this
they're-
is like an irrational fear that you have for some reason.
I'm telling you guys.
Why don't I feel this
And
way?
then somebody
I
said,
would get into the pen with baby cows. Like with Lola, her baby cows are nice. Not
no,
like
that is dangerous, and I don't know why you guys put me in that situation.
You sent me to
Dude,
go
Boo Boo
get
Boo
labeled
will go
with
in there and
things.
then have him suck on his finger and all kinds of stuff.
Remember when we went to Karina's mom's house and they had the cows and we went in with the baby newborn. There was a baby newborn and they had to grab it because they had to separate it from its mom. It was a baby newborn with its mother protecting it.
Abby puts me in the most dangerous positions of my life, and I'm going to tell you one of them. Abigail
gosh.
loves cows, okay? I don't care what you say, though. Like, if you watch Hoof GP like I do at night,
Who?
What?
Hoof GP.
What the heck is that, Mom?
Have any of
Are
you
you
guys watched
talking
Hoof
about-
GP? No, he's from Ireland, which is weird because, like, I swear my roots call me to
Mom?
that. No,
I
see-
can't even listen to the gringoness
No.
right now. Oh my gosh, I
Hoof
feel like I'm in the
GP.
United States.
Who doesn't know the Hoof GP?
Apparently everybody else but you.
Okay, well, if you watch the Hoof GP, which you should, because he would tell you that he's like one of the top
Hoof
Is it
GP.
Hoopville? What the heck?
He's
Are we
one
talking-
of the top hoof trimmers in the
my
world. You should have some respect for him.
I can't.
And he tells you that cows can be dangerous.
This is what you do with your
Hoof
downtime.
G. I can't.
I watch Hoof
Is
GP
it
every
Hoopville?
single
Are
night.
you talking about the Grints? Oh
Have
my
any of you
gosh.
seen the Hoof GP? Hoof GP is my fave. Look at
Mom,
that.
Like one person. Wow.
You guys, Hoof GP will put you into a state of calm
Put you to
and
sleep is
rest.
what's gonna happen.
It calms me. It calms
Dude,
me.
I can't. I can't.
No, it calms.
Mom?
Okay, let me explain to you though why I know when I'm in bad situations, because instead of watching like series or something, I like to watch informational things at night, like the Hoof GP or like Dr. Pol. I've seen every
Dr.
single
Paul's
episode.
a good one. I can admit
Right.
that.
So the Hoof GP tells you cows can be dangerous. So Abigail, there's a family here, a family friend. We stop at their house. You see them a lot. They have a dairy farm and they have all these cows in a huge pasture. The problem with this pasture is that it's surrounded by, it's like barbed wire. So you can only go in and out a certain way. Once you're in pretty deep into the pasture,
There's no going out.
there's no getting out, okay? So what they do is, we're here in Mexico, there's a lot of female cows out in this huge pasture, it's just acres. There's a couple bulls here and there.
There's like 3 bulls. That's a street
And
apart.
right, and it's a season of them having babies. And I go to pick Abigail up because she went there to milk. Abigail actually knows how to milk cows. And she goes, oh, come out here and see the babies. And I was like, I really want to see the babies. They're so cute, but is this safe? So we're with the farmers. And they're like, yeah, no pasa nada.
That's how you know you messed up right there. No pasa nada. That's how you know something about to happen.
You know you messed
right
up.
there.
You messed up. If you come to Mexico and anyone tells you no,
No
pasa nada,
you're screwed.
but you're worried. I want you to think of me in your head saying, si pasa. Don't do it. Si pasa.
I feel like we gotta make shirts like this.
Okay, so I know, with my face saying, si pasa. Okay, so it's Lola and Rafa, okay? They go, no, come in, come in. So this was before I started watching the Hoof GP, so I didn't know better yet. But I did know I shouldn't have went in there. So
You need to stop.
I go
saying
in
it
there
like
and I'm deep into the pasture and all these cows, and they're kind of like being a little aggressive, and I'm looking for an escape route in case it goes down. And then I'm trying to calculate in my head, can you outrun a cow? I don't know. I have no idea how fast a cow runs. And I'm like, can I slip under the barbed wire? Would I get stuck? You know, I don't know. So they're showing me, they go up to these baby cows, they're lifting them up, and the moms are like running at them, going, "Ah!" And I'm like, oh, they're so cute.
What noise was this? Let's do that again.
No, because
I
that's
can't.
what the mom cows do. No, the mom cows, when they're mad,
I feel like-
I'm gonna make a
they
sticker out of
don't
you saying
moo.
that.
No.
I'm gonna make a sticker.
Mom cows don't moo when they're mad. That's the other thing you guys would
It's
know.
like a growl. What is it?
I know more than my
I feel
family.
like you're
That's
talking
why
about
my
a
family
cat.
is safe. No, cows go moo, but then when they're protecting their young, they're like they go at them.
Oh my god.
They
I
do.
can't.
Okay, but listen. So then we're in that pasture and they're picking up these babies and the cows are like running at them. And these are big cows, okay? And they're like, isn't this so cute? And they think it's so funny. And they're like, no pasa nada. And I'm like, this has probably been the worst situation I could have ever got myself into. And I was like, they're so cute. And I was like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. And they're laughing because they think it's so funny that I'm terrified.
And I'm like sitting there
but
normal.
yeah, this like life or death, and they're sitting there laughing. That's another thing in Mexico. It's like life or death, and it's so funny to them.
Yeah,
For
it's
real.
I feel like you have some sort of irrational fear of cows.
Yeah, you do.
I
It's-
swear
need
to you
accept
guys,
it.
I am
You have
going-
irrational fear
no.
of cows.
No,
and
I'm-
chihuahuas.
Chihuahuas.
No, that's why you run.
It's because my husband has never been put in these situations. He's never been in a huge pasture where he had to either get trampled or outrun a cow.
I used to go milk cows.
It's different. It's different milking
Dad's
cows.
too confident about it. Dad's too confident.
Yeah. Like when the horse situation out in Ajijic, when they went nuts.
Yeah, and he was
Whose
just sitting
horse went
there.
nuts? Mine.
Yes, because you panic.
A wild horse, you guys. Let me tell you, because most of you might
It
not
wasn't
know.
a wild horse, it was just
No.
a loose horse.
Was it wild?
Yes.
It was a
running
wild
around.
horse.
It was crazy.
So we
I was traumatized.
you guys have to know this. We go, Chapala and Ajijic is kind of like a tourist destination almost, okay? So we go there on a weekend trip, and I said, and I vlogged, I was like, we're gonna take an adventure. My anxiety will not get the best of me, okay? And I love horses. So one day, me and my husband seen this cowboy kind of guy, this vaquero, on the side of the road with a bunch of horses. And we went back to that area, and he was out there. And we probably had about 2 hours before the sun was gonna set. Now I had Abigail and my 3 other kids with me. And my husband, he's just not afraid of anything. So we go over there, and he has so many horses, and he speaks English, but he has like an accent, okay? I didn't know he spoke English because I just didn't think he did. And then I go, oh, can you ask him if we can ride the horses? And then the guy's like, see, he's talking to my husband in Spanish. And I was like, oh, but hon, I gotta use the bathroom. And you guys know in Mexico, there's like no bathrooms anywhere. And the guy's like, the bathroom's right up there. And I was like, That's embarrassing. I'm not even gonna tell you the bathroom story yet, because that was a whole nother terror scene. Okay? Terror. But anyways, we will move on. So we go into this pasture with all these horses, and there's two other gringos there. A girl and a man. They are American, they speak full English, they
they're
live out there.
Canadian.
Yeah, they're
Or-
Canadian.
Or they were Canadian, but they spoke perfect English. And I said, are you guys going on the tour too? And they said, yeah, we're going on the tour. We've done it before. And I said, okay. So the guy said, absolutely zero helmets, and there is no waiver to sign, nothing, okay? And I said, well, these people did it, and this is all he does all day long. So we get on the horses. My husband's horse was named Rambo. It was the most wild horse I'd ever seen in my life, okay? And I was like, thank goodness they're giving that horse to my husband. But
And it was the tallest one.
right, and it was crazy. But right then, I was kind of like, that's kind of shady. Why would they let a horse like that be a trail horse? Oh well. So I get on another horse, and I said, please give me the calmest horse you have. He gives me the calmest horse. And it truly was. It was very old, so calm. I love this horse. Me and Pee get on this horse. Abby gets on her horse, Cristiano. Annabelle's with my husband.
I was worried about my horse. They said mine was only like 5, and I'm like,
Yeah, she had like a young horse. So the guide gets on his, and I said, because Penelope's sitting with me, can you please hold our horse? And he said, yeah, of course. So our horse is connected to the guide. My husband's horse is going crazy. It's like running around the town.
it's the leader.
It's like, I don't even know what's going on. My husband's cool as a cucumber, okay? Abby and Cristiano are behind
Cool
me.
as a cucumber?
Cool as a
Dude,
cucumber.
You're getting too green. I can't with this one.
So then, listen, so we're going through Chapala, and you guys, I vlogged this, okay? It's not your vlog. We're going through Chapala. We're almost done. We've been on the horse about an hour and a half. Halfway through, the guy stops, kind of on a busy, narrow road with all the horses, and he's like, tequila break, and I'm like,
He's like, you want some
wait.
tequila? He was offering everyone
Right,
tequila.
and I think he was a little bit getting drunk at this point because he kept drinking something, and I was like, no, can we please keep going? It's like there's cars beeping behind us. We were almost
Yeah,
done.
you're in the middle of the street.
Right, and I could tell my husband had a worried look, and my husband's never worried. I was like, can we just get going back? Okay, so we're almost back. We get back on the trail. We're about 5 minutes from being done. And now, like I said, my husband's in front of us, and then it's me and the tour guide.
But it's me and Annabelle.
Right, him and Annabelle. Me and the tour guide are in the middle. Abby, Cristiano, and the rest of the gringos are in the back. We're all in a line. Out of nowhere,
The rest of the gringos.
the rest of the gringos in the back. I swear to you guys, I'm not exaggerating. I am not. We were slightly at the bottom of a hill, okay? So at the top of this hill, I just see this majestic red
oh my God,
huge horse.
majestic.
Huge horse come running for its life at the top of this hill, and it stops. There's no saddle, nothing on it. It stops. It looks me dead in the eye.
I can't.
And my husband,
Dude, you're making this so
no,
dramatic.
I swear to you guys, my
Looked you right in the eyes.
husband, my husband was in front of us on Rambo, the most crazy horse. This horse looks me dead in the eye for 10 straight seconds. And I just start praying, okay? I said, this is not gonna be good. So this horse runs full speed at us, at the group.
It was a mare.
It was a mare. You would think it would stop at my husband, right? Because he's in front of us with the crazy horse. Oh no. Went straight past my husband and ran at me and Penelope. And Penelope's screaming because my old calm horse, my horse is like 100 years old. My old calm horse is like jumping because this weird wild horse is running at it. The horse could have kept running. There's a million horses behind me. And the tour guide is like, no pasa nada. And I said, can you get down and like get the horse or something? And so I had to take over. I had to
You
save
got off the
our
horse,
family. So,
and then me and Boo were already leaving.
right. So what happened was my horse was going on.
Boo Boo turns around and his horse is all calm, walks the other way.
Same, I was
Cristiano
behind Boo.
literally, it was pure chaos. And then the horse starts attacking my horse.
Starts
then the
following
horse,
all of us.
Right, then the horse runs away and comes back and starts attacking my horse again. The second time was when I knew I had to get off. So I wait a second. I had my stick from my camera in my hand, and I'm smacking it at the horse. The horse gets far enough away that I put Penelope down. I say, run behind that tree. Penelope runs behind the tree. I jump off my horse, and I am literally like a Western movie. I am corralling the wild horse out of everybody's way. I'm saving everybody's life. No one else was. No one. And I look behind me. Cristiano turned around and is leaving.
Yeah,
and
me and Boo were already out of
and
here.
Abigail's following him. And I'm like, Abigail. And they just leave. They didn't say a word to me. Nothing. They're like, bye. The gringos are leaving. Nobody helped me. My husband, he went and grabbed Penelope and Annabelle. He got off his horse and grabbed them. I had to run like a mile and corral this horse away because it kept coming back. Didn't it keep coming back? And so then the instructor, the leader guy, he got mad at me because I wouldn't get back on the horse. I said, I'm walking. I said, it's 5 minutes, I'm walking.
I think what happened was this horse was like frantic, okay?
Frantic.
It looked like it was looking for its baby.
It had just had a baby.
It was looking for its baby or something.
Looking for its baby, and I think it was just...
Because you see horses kind of in the wild in Mexico, and it's no problem. I wouldn't see a loose horse and be afraid. This horse had fire in its eyes.
Oh my gosh,
Did it not?
I can't.
Did
You're
it
the
not?
most dramatic
Did it
storyteller
not?
I know.
Did it
Oh my
not?
gosh,
And
can't.
I swear to you guys, the guide said that he's been doing this for like 50 years, and he's like, that has never in 50 years ever happened.
And of course it would happen to us.
Of course, and not just us.
Well, good
it
thing
came
you
straight
watched
at me.
Hoof GP.
Who corralled
Oh
the
my
horse
God.
away?
I
I literally.
You run like Mean Boo Boo. Mean Boo Boo
I
were out. I was
literally
out.
saved my children and corralled the wild horse away and had to walk. Everybody else rode their horses back. I had to walk. Because it's either walk or get on stinking Rambo and risk my life again to get back with my husband.
You'll say it aggressively. You're like, Bravo.
Well, who would name him Rambo? He was already crazy. But anyways, you guys, we know because we try to go every weekend, but the house has cost so much lately because of the beams. We haven't been able to do. We love to be able to show you guys different places on the weekends, and we haven't been able to. But every time we go somewhere new on the weekend, we try to be a little bit more adventurous. And it never goes smooth like it does for other
Yes,
people.
because your irrational fear of things.
Did that lead the horse to me?
Yes,
I don't know how.
you're rational.
But it did happen.
I don't know what happened.
You know what happened. You jumped off your horse to save the little
Listen,
girl.
all I seen was Boo Boo walking away like nonchalant, like nothing was happening. Abigail was following him. The guide was drunk, going like this with his hat.
Yeah, I tried to get No,
And that was it.
And there's
You're over here talking about like you experienced like Pocahontas.
Yeah, like Pocahontas, Mom. That's the story
It-
you're giving.
I swear
It's
to
some
you guys,
Pocahontas.
I swear to you guys, that horse looked me in the eyes for 10 seconds straight at the top of the hill. No one else, and I knew it was coming for me. I knew it
Coming
was
for
coming.
you. Oh my gosh.
And I don't know why, because I love horses. I don't know. I don't
It was
know what
like
it was.
that one, the one with the red hair.
It
was
had
the
red hair. It
was
had
the
red hair. It was the craziest thing. And that guy was like, that's never happened to me in 50 years. And I was like,
Well, now it has.
Welcome to Touch a Light Homestead. We probably will not be back unless we do. And then it's so funny because that has not scarred my kids. I feel like it makes them
I'm
stronger.
a little traumatized from it.
You're a little
Oh my God,
traumatized. But like Penelope and Annabelle, they got the worst of it, I feel like, 'cause they're so little. And we were recently somewhere and they're like, we want to see if they have horses. Where did we go? They wanted to go horseback riding
Oh, we
so
went
bad.
to I was for Pee-Pee's birthday.
Oh yeah, we went to Hamai for Pee-Pee's birthday and she wanted to go to like the plaza and find horses so bad. Even after that experience.
Exactly. She's like, can we go horseback riding?
So
I just don't feel like it was that bad.
you were
I instantly got back on my horse.
Yeah, Dad was taking off. Dad was like the front of the group.
But that's why me and you
I
are.
was galloping in the sunset.
No, he was.
Yeah, he was in the Chapala lake, like galloping in.
No, I know. And Cristiano.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about me. Everybody's like, oh, she took care of it. Like, I always take care of our dangerous situations, okay? But that's because I know they're dangerous situations.
No, they were only dangerous to you.
Yes, hon. That's what happens when a wild horse
It's
attacks.
because of the gringoness, mother.
Oh
It
my
was
gosh.
overcoming.
That was such a fun day though. That was filled with adventure, but I'm trying to think of like other big moments that we have had that we have been like, this is not okay. Like one thing that is not okay, and I will vlog this for you guys, when the fiestas come, they have this, what's it called, like a boat?
Oh my gosh, it's the best part of the fiesta. It's a boat and it almost turns over backwards. It's
The
almost
most
a whole
dangerous
circle.
thing you could ever do in
But
your
you know
life.
what else is different? The thing that catches fire that spins around.
It
What's
catches
called?
fire?
No, it's this. It's like the thing at midnight. It catches fire and
Oh,
circles
yeah,
around.
yeah, yeah.
And then it landed on someone's head the last year.
Every year.
El Castillo.
El Castillo.
Have you
That's
guys ever
dangerous. I'll
seen
agree,
one of
that's
those?
dangerous.
That is so, I go home
think
before
I
they
have
light
a,
it. The ring
I
of
think-
fire. The ring of fire. I go home before they light that, so I
It
won't
goes
be able
off
to
at
vlog
midnight
it.
and it has like a crown on it and it flies off. It hits someone in the head. It's bad.
No, not only that, at about 4 a.m. every day, they light off. They're fireworks, but they're like extreme, and they go up, and there's like these sticks that just fall in the air, and for some reason they fall into our property, so you always have to be like watching out. No one cares though. You just gotta watch out. It's so crazy. No pasa nada, laugh out loud. Yeah, you guys remember that. If you're gonna come visit Mexico and someone says that,
We're gonna make shirts like that. No pasa nada.
I'm even scared of the Castillo. When the
Nah.
Castillo comes, I'm like behind a building or something. I'll mess around with the Castillo.
no, you're out. I've seen a video on that. That's dangerous. Yes, you need to be out. Yes.
You almost have 1,000 people watching.
I know, that's so crazy. If you guys can, please like and subscribe, because we have a lot of people watching right now, and it's so cool that we get to share our life
It's like talking in
experiences
front
here
of
in
a big
Mexico.
audience. I'm like,
Right, do your Reina speech. Do you remember
I
it?
don't remember it. I don't remember anything of my Reina speech.
Abigail did the Reinas last year, and the Reinas, it's a new year for the Reinas, and we were talking about that, how it was so hard, so much harder than we thought it was gonna be.
It was like professional Reinas. I'm like, this is a little Reinas. How's it gonna be professional?
It was professional Reinas. We were not prepared or ready for the level of Reinas that was going down. If we did it again when you were 18, I think
Yeah.
we would be.
I'm about to do it again. I'm gonna be like, I made it this year.
Oh, thank you. Someone said I just subscribed. You guys, I dream one day I'll get to 100,000 subscribers.
No, let me tell you
You're
what you
pretty
really
close,
do dream.
aren't
This
you?
Pretty
that
close.
one day the ranch would do like a pageant for moms. This is what
I would bust. I
Mom would
guarantee
win.
you guys,
Mom
I
would
have
win.
asked, I have questioned the higher up committee that runs the fiestas. I have mentioned a couple times briefly in passing that we should do La Reinas de Mamás. You guys, I would bring it.
Mom would win.
I would bring, we'd
She
have
would
to
win.
stop building our house for a month. I'd have to go dress shopping.
It
I would,
be like-
it would go
would-
down.
It would be
That would be
mind-blowing.
the vlog of all vlogs.
I want to talk to the mom and be like, let's do a Reina. I'm gonna come
Reinas
talk
de
to
Ma, because they wanted
Reinas de
to,
mi mama.
I would do it. I wish, I wouldn't hesitate. I would not hesitate.
She would be
I would
fluent in
do-
Spanish. She would take.
I
the
would
mom-
start now.
Yeah.
If it was next year, I would start now my
Yeah.
memorization speech. Am I Mexican? No.
Would she
But do
win?
they call me
Yes.
Lupita? Yes. I would have to really work it into my speech how
to a Chihuahua confronts you at the plaza.
I would.
The chihuahuas all
I
jump
would.
on your dress.
I would
Oh.
carry a chihuahua on stage. I would.
Like the chihuahua, you would put like in Mufasa, how they do it. Oh
My-
my gosh, like
My-
the Lion King.
My Reina representation photos would be in a field of vacas, of cows.
Oh my gosh,
I
with a
would
chihuahua
bring
like
it.
this.
It
Oh
would be
my
in
gosh.
a way you guys have never seen me.
Confronting the rooster, you'll have roosters.
No, I would. The way I am not.
I have the rooster
No,
in a headlock.
I swear to you, the way
You took
I
your
would,
trophy, the rooster.
I would win. I would win. If I didn't win, the only reason would be because I was gringa. There would be no
my
other reason because I would win. Because I love Mexico, I love the ranch, and I love some sparkle. Like I dress farm, I have my Wrangler in my area every day and my sweaters. I rarely ever dress up. But if I was in the arenas, you would
You
have.
get some red
No,
bottom
so
heels.
listen, you already
I-
won. You already won the Katrina competition, remember?
So
At
you won the
school?
Katrina.
Yeah,
That was
I won the
surprising.
Reina Catrinas and I didn't know I was in a competition. That's how much I had brought it. The minute they told me, it was 5 minutes before I had to go on stage and do what I had to do.
What did
I
you
said,
do
bet.
on stage?
No, you had to do a model walk.
Yeah,
And then you had to stop and you had to pose. Bro, I
you
brought
busted.
it. My husband has the video and I don't know if we ever posted it because one of my
Yeah, we
friends
need to
took
post it now.
a thing of it and they said I won and I was like, I've been waiting my whole life and I didn't even know this was coming. But yeah, I'm telling you guys, I'd bring it.
The thing is, you had like everybody was at the school because it was for Dia de los Muertos.
And that's a huge deal
And
here.
I mean, it was like the whole town was there, okay? And by the end of it, everybody's cheering Aaron's name, everybody's clapping and all
The
this stuff.
gringa.
And I won. I won. And all of us moms, we were petty at that point. As
No,
soon as
all the
we knew
moms
we
were
were in
so
competition
mad.
against each other, that was it. We were like, bet, let's do it. Because I will say one thing, all of us moms in the ranch, we love each other and we would do anything for each other. But when it comes to competition here on the ranch, people bring it. Don't they?
Yeah.
There is no more, when you're in a competition, there is no more, I'm gonna hold back because we're friends. So I brought it, you guys. And everything was fine after that. But yeah, if they did Reina's de Mama, sorry.
Give me my phone real quick.
Sonia's calling you.
House build would have to just wait for a moment. Our next door neighbor is calling my husband real quick.
Wait, I want to hear the drama.
Oh my gosh, Abby's chismosa. Okay, someone said, this is such a great question. Lupita, have you decided to do the candle indents or windows on the stairs hallway? I'm doing the candle indents. Somebody brought that up and mentioned it to me, and I was like, how beautiful would that be if they could do the candle indents all the way high up the wall? And then we have so many old historical artifacts from the old home that was built here out of adobe. So my husband's grandparents were the original founders of this ranch, and their home was made out of adobe. They had no electricity, and a lot of the older things, what would it be considered? Like, it should be things that are in museums. They have kept a lot of those things. So if we make the indents, I'm gonna make them different shapes, and I'm gonna put these different artifacts in there from the adobe home that was built here on our family's property. So I am so happy that someone brought that up because I don't know why that didn't cross my mind before to do that. And I'm so excited. We might even do a couple things like that more in the upstairs as well. Artifacts, that's the word for it, artifacts. My house is made out of adobe here in Utah. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, someone said Lupita is her Mexican name or after ego.
Our alter ego.
I can tell you the story behind the name Lupita, and people in the ranch like think that is so funny because it like fits me. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my God, you're flipping your hair.
No,
You're like,
Karina
it
thinks it fits me. But the first time we ever went to Chapala. Now you guys gotta understand, I am surrounded, and this is a full Hispanic community. I'm the first gringa to have ever lived here. Somebody even told me once, they said sometimes people might come for the fiestas, they might bring their girlfriend or boyfriend, but they have I'm the first gringa to ever live here. So that's what I'm surrounded by all day long. And you guys obviously know I love it. So then my husband's friends come and they're like, let's go visit Chapala. All of us wanted to go. Now, Chapala is a place in Mexico where a lot of Americans retire at and a lot of Canadians retire. I didn't realize at the time how many Americans retire
when
there.
I went there, we went to Walmart, remember? Puro
Yeah.
americano, puro gringo.
Pura Americanas, puro.
Mom, you can't do it like me. I'm the Mexican baddie in the
Puro
family. Okay, it's
Mexicanas.
different.
Okay, so I didn't realize that it was like that. So we're driving, and I'm sitting in the back because I let my husband's friends sit in the front, and I'm sitting in the back and I'm looking out the window, and we're getting into Chapala, and it's just like
It's like
It's
America.
like-
It's America.
it's
There's
like-
so many people that speak
it's
American.
like white person on an electric scooter, white person on an electric bike. Our ranch has never even seen an electric bike, and I'm like, where are we? You
We're
know,
in America,
and then
how we
and then my
transport it?
husband and them are like, it's because they might have done more research on something, and they're like, it's all white people here, and I said, I'm gonna tell you guys something right now. You call me Lupita while we're in.
We
I don't know
Lupita.
why. It was the first name that came to me, and I said, well, we are in Chapala. You call me Lupita, and you speak to me in Spanish. I said, because they're going to know I'm white, and they're going to think I'm white, and I speak
And then
English,
we're gonna be like, "Hey, Lupita."
and I live in Chapala, and I have worked too hard for all that. So I said, I am Lupita, and you speak to me in Spanish when we are in Chapala or Ajijic. And they sure did, you guys. It was so funny. But that's why they call me Lupita. And the other day we were at a family friend's house, and my husband was laughing. He's like, Lupita. And in Spanish, they were like, why are you calling her Lupita? And they explained it to my family friend, like, oh, they call her Lupita because we were in Chapala, and it was all white people, and she didn't want the white people to know she was white. So they called her Lupita. So my family friends were like, oh my gosh, we're all gonna start calling you Lupita. But I don't know why, that's my Mexican name and it fits me. All right, you guys, so it is already getting late. And we are gonna get going, but I had such a good live with you guys. It was so much fun. If you have not already, please like and subscribe. My next vlog, you're gonna see spring cleaning, and the one after that, Abigail starts dance class.
I'm gonna vlog my dance class, and
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
do my
spec-
makeup, and I'm gonna do my makeup for it, and I'm gonna videotape it.
And she said
Come on,
she's
get
a
ready with me.
Professional skedaddler.
As professional skedaddler, that's what I'm gonna
She
call
said
it.
she's doing Latina baddie makeup
I'm doing
for you guys.
Latina baddie makeup for my Florida class.
For anybody who
practices.
wants to know how to do that. But I'm excited that I'm vlogging that for you guys because this is a big cultural thing for her. This is like it's a big dance to Jalisco too, isn't it?
Yeah, folklorico.
Folklorico. So I hope all of you guys like and subscribe. Let me know where you're watching from. I hope all of you have a beautiful, blessed night. Buenos noches,
Buenas
todos.
noches.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.